Hi everybody, and welcome back to either Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, wherever you're watching this. I'm still not feeling it at all, but I think it's really important on days when you're not feeling it to sort of think outside the box, if you like, and show that you can still be on plan and not cook from scratch. Tonight I won't be cooking from scratch, and let's face it, there is nothing wrong with that. And as I say, I just can't be asked, basically. I'm just like, no. So what I'm going to do is cook something that I've not cooked before, and I'm going to make some sticky sausages. I've wanted to make these since before Christmas, and every time I buy them, we just eat them. And that's it, so I don't get to make them. But today, I'm making a conscious effort to cook them because I can't be bothered. So what I'm doing is I'm using these quorn cocktail sausages. And these are half a syn per sausage. This is those in the little box there, as you can see. And I'm going to heat them up in the pan. And I am going to add to that some dark soy sauce, some balsamic, and some honey. Now, basically, these three ingredients form a sticky sauce for any meat: chicken, pork, beef, prawns, anything, tofu, whatever you want. And realistically, if you're following any sort of diet or Slimming World, these are the three things that you should somewhere have in your cupboard, because you can actually just bring them together it very quickly and create a great easy meal or stir fry. Now, usually the ratio is 3 of each: 3 balsamic, 3 soy, and either 2 or 3 honey. Now, because there is only a small amount of these sausages in here, there's not that many, I don't know what ratio I'm going to use until I get it in the pan. But what I'm going to do is cheat a little bit, because normally when you make this recipe, you cut your meat, whatever that may be, and you sort of put the sauce and the meat in kind of together and get it to cook together. But because these are already cooked, what I'm going to do is show you a really shortcut and make the sauce ahead of time. What you need to be careful of, though, is that you don't let it cool down too much, because the honey will set in the pan and you'll have to reheat it again. I'm going to actually serve it again with a packet. Again, not cooking from scratch at all tonight. This is 2.5 syns, and it's the Tilda sweet chili, and I'm going to add some of that and some greens or some veggies to go with it. And basically that is going to be as exciting as it gets tonight. But, you know, rather than not be on plan, because that's very easy for me to do, I could easily just sit down with some toast and marmalade, not a problem at all. Rather than sort of fall off plan, wrong word, not be on plan, I think it's just easier for me to just pull this together. And I'm sure I'll really enjoy it once it's cooked. It's just actually getting it cooked. So keep tuned to the rest of the video, and I will take you through how I do it step by step. And I will also post any notes and a finished clip of the meal at the end of the video as well. So keep tuned. Okay, so I am back, and what I decided was to stick with 3 tablespoons of soy, about 2.5 of balsamic. You could do 3, it wouldn't make any difference, and only 2 of honey. And basically that is what I decided to put in the pan. So let me show you what I have done so far. See if I can tilt this round properly without crashing it. Now, as you can see, this is smoking the pan. It's just, this is starting to reduce down. It's on a low heat, and I'm going to keep it on a low heat. I always get asked how I cook my vegetables. This is it. It's in a griddle pan. If you don't have a griddle pan, just a frying pan is fine. And all I do is use the Tesco rapeseed oil them, and then just cook them on a very low heat until they're cooked. I like my vegetables really crunchy, and that's how I keep them really crunchy, so they're not boiled. So that is how I'm doing my vegetables. And what I'm going to do now is keep stirring this, because the honey is in here, and what will happen is the honey will start to get sort of really reduced very quickly, and it'll start giving you a really thick sauce. Now, what I also need to do is add in these sausages, which are the quorn ones, and I need to make sure they're heated through. So when I feel, as you're moving the spoon around, you will feel the spoon to start start like dragging on the pan. And that means that it's all starting to reduce down. You're evaporating the liquid. And what you really want is it not to go all of the way down, because obviously I want to coat these sausages in it as well. But I don't want it too thick. So I'm just going to make sure that I keep stirring this and stirring it and stirring it to get it down quick. There, I can just feel the spoon dragging, and it's leaving like these trails behind, but the trails are quite sort of, it's difficult to explain. Once you do it in your own pan, you'll understand what I mean. There's some resistance against the spoon. I think that's what I'm trying to say. And all I'm now going to do is put in my sausages, and I'm going to make sure that they're covered and coated, and then I am going to turn the heat up just a tiny little bit, because I want to make sure that these are cooked through, but I also want to get this sauce down as well. So we were on a low heat. I'm now going to turn this up slightly, just a tiny little bit to medium heat, and I'm just going to keep my eye on it, keep stirring it, and make sure that the sauce doesn't sort of evaporate down too quickly without sort of heating these through. So if you've got any meat left over from Sunday lunches, like chicken or pork or lamb or anything like that that's already cooked, this is a great way to use it up to make like a sticky stir fry with. And I have done it that way before, and again it works a treat. Now can you see how this is starting to bubble now? This is where now I have to really watch what I'm doing, because the sauce will actually come together very, very quickly like that if you're not careful. Now if it starts to get too quick for you and too much, just take the pan off the heat and let it cool down a bit, and then put it back on, and you can do it that way. But what you're really looking for is this sort of soft, sort of pin bubbling on the top, and eventually, says she, that will come down, and ooh, squiffy angle, that will come down and be a nice sticky sauce. And it really depends where you want to bring the sauce down to, whether you want it really sort of set or whether you just want a nice coating. Choice is yours as always. What I will do is I will keep my eye on that, and I will let you know how it goes. The honey is I don't know whether I told you this, 2.5 syns a tablespoon, and I used 2, so that's 2.5 syns for me, 2.5 syns for Graham. So I will come back once I finish this, and I'll let you have a look at it, and you can see how it. Okay, as you can see, that sauce went down very, very quickly, and I have got sort of enough of it to coat everything. Now this is where if you leave the pan off the heat, it'll start cooling down, and this will start to solidify slightly. And the easiest thing to do is obviously to put it back on the heat and just, you know, keep slackening back off the sauce. But every time you put it on the heat, it will reduce this down again, so you won't have much sauce. It's up to you, you know, just do it whichever way you want. All I want to show you is this is how quickly the sauce does come down. I mean, I could have left the camera rolling, to be quite honest, but I didn't. But there you go. That is how the sauce looks when it's going to coat everything. I'm going to now plate up, and I will show you a picture of the end meal at the end of the video.